at least this way will allow you to see what's going on. There'll be a little bit of a delay between something updates visually and when you're hearing about it from me. So you'll hear it from me and then it'll appear. That we would just have to get used to that. I set my delay as low as possible, so it should only be like 10 seconds-ish. We'll just do it this way. You tell me where you want to move, and I'll move you, and everything should hopefully be copacetic.
Just we get some random viewers coming in, they can hear us.
I'm fine with that. I've stated that it's a D&D game. We've never broadcast the D&D game before, but this was the easiest way to do it. Since before, when I did dungeons like this, we were using Skype, which allowed me to do Skype video with a group call. But Discord, you have to be in a personal call in order to do video. And so I'd have to invite each of you to a personal call, and it's just like, what? Why? So, I'm going to do it this way instead. So everybody should be able to see this first room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I thought I'm still outside the dune. Aren't we still outside by the dune?
Well, the rest of you, I'm just talking about everybody who is watching the stream, which should be everybody.
You should be able to see it.
So we're going to put Vendar here, and Jebel's going to be over here, having tumbled right up to the doorway. What you see before you is a large stone wall, about 40 feet high, with a 20-foot tall, 20-foot wide door, cut perfectly square into it. The stone is a milky white, seeming to be like a marble or a limestone, something much harder than sand, obviously. Much harder than sandstone or any of this, the rocks you've seen so far. It seems much more rich, even, than the sandstone that you saw the city was built out of. And what you notice is that there are intricate carvings around the door.
I just like face planted.
No, you face planted. You were just covered in sand. Just absolutely, you're half buried by the time you get up to the door, having tumbled down the dune. And before you see the dark opening of this building. Now, of course, gnomes have dark vision, but Vendar, you see the dark maw of this structure, which seems to be half buried in the sand. And all you see exposed is this corner of the building. The doorway is covered over in sand, and the walls are barely exposed out, to like here, and the rest around is just buried under the sand where I've highlighted blue. And so what you see is
we will get buried when we go in there.
The corner of a box.
This is very ominous.
One thing that you take note of with your 25 perception is that there appear to be tracks in the sand heading across the threshold. Not very well distinguishable as footprints, but definitely it looks like something slid in. You can see a divot cut in a mostly straight path going in.
How big is it?
The divot cut looks to be maybe 3-4 feet across, with other disturbances around to either side at a regular pattern. But again, sand is shifty and doesn't hold form well, so it's not like you can tell if it's a footprint or anything. You just know that there is a line, as though something was sliding or dragged, and then disturbances to either side.
Alright.
Can I see them?
Yeah, what is your passive perception?
14.
A 14. Yeah, you notice this path in, but really more what catches your eye is just the grand nature of the stone jutting from the sand here, and the fact that there is writing in a language you speak.
Mm-hmm.
I am sending it to you now. It seems to be 2 lines engraved around the door, up one side and down the other. It looks like there may once have been an actual door and not just an opening. Your dark vision does allow you to see into the room, although because you're out in sunlight, it is still, difficult to look into darkness and discern things. But if you were to move into the shadow and let your eyes adjust, you would be able to see just fine.
I'm going to look to Vendar. Just say, should we go in or should we wait for everyone?
Can I go in? So could you read this?
Oh yeah.
What does it say?
Royal Vault of the Master of Garland. I'll point to each line as I read it.
You do so.
And then point to the next one. Scientific advancement is equivalent to wealth.
Well, seems like we're in the right place. Let's go.
These are in the right place. Yeah, totally. Let's go.
Literally could have been like, fuck, and shit. Yep, we're definitely in the right place here.
Devil's just like, it says here that it's not the place we're looking for. Turn around.
Says we should go home.
It's very clear. I mean, it says nope.
It says no armor here.
Go away.
I don't want to talk to you no more.
So, are you signaling the others to come down to you?
Zender's gonna stand in the doorway and see if you can see anything in the room.
Okay. You move into the doorway, and there is a gloom over the entire room. The light from outside reveals an area about like so to you, easily, and you can see that the area is covered in a thick layer of sand, that the trail of the sliding or dragged object continues straight ahead, like so. And hopefully in a few seconds you'll see that update.
No, we're seeing that pretty quickly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I did set it to 0, but I didn't think it would actually get to 0.
Well,
It's not for me. I'm still watching things get edited.
You got that in.
Do you see the dark blue line going across the
I do now.
middle?
Okay. That is what you are aware of with your not dark vision. Otherwise, it is a dark, gloomy, open room that you cannot see the walls of. You are aware that there are darker, deeper shadows toward the corners, but your character is not aware of what they might be.
I pop my head in the door. What way?
Nothing waiting for us, and yeah, as long as Jubble says there's nothing.
Oh. You poked Jevil, but I didn't hear you ask him a question. I don't know that he understood what you wanted.
I poked him and asked him, said, you can see in the dark, right? Kind of make sure there's nothing waiting for us in here to...
I go up to the edge and I just kind of glance inside.
Alright, so you're currently stood here. Where do you want to move to? Like, over here, in here?
N14.
Gotcha. There you go. You are there. You have dark vision out to 60 feet, correct?
I do.
Okay, so that's 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. So you can see to this wall. That is 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet. You can see to that wall. That is 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet. So you can see this whole room. You are aware of all of the things described here. You know that this room is largely empty. The floor here is covered entirely in an almost even layer of sand. Again, there appears to be markings of something dragging or sliding through the sand here. There are various other marks on the sand around. but it's largely a smooth covering of sand. And that you're standing in it, you can see it varies between half an inch and an inch deep. In the nearest corner to you, there is a statue of a gnome who is standing proudly, and next to him, seated, appears to be a dog, although on closer inspection you can see that there are joints and mechanisms. This dog is not a living dog, but some sort of mechanical construction.
Is it an actual mechanical construction or a statue of a mechanical construction?
It seems to be a statue. Yes. From here, it is. Yes, from here, you would need to actually investigate it to determine if the image itself is in any way mechanical. At first glance, it appears to be a statue.
Okay.
Exactly what the robots want us to think.
Well, how large are these things?
Well,
Like the
the base of it is 15 feet long and 10 feet wide. It is a substantial statue of a gnome and his dog. It stands at least 10 feet tall. In this corner, there appears to be a gnome who is holding up a gem, appraisingly has a loop scope over one eye, which appears to be affixed to his face by a metal headgear contraption. He seems proud of what he's holding. You can see that the stone is cut in many clean facets. This corner is a statue of a gnome riding a mechanical pony. Some of this I'm rereading for the first time in months. So I'm like, oh yeah, I did that.
How many hooves up? Which ones?
Just one, and it's the front left.
Does it have a slot that you can put a coin in and it starts going?
And the last one is... well, yeah, that's right, I put caps lock on. Gnome.
Just a gnome.
And yet feels right.
Who appears to have several complex, complicated tools. Seemingly based on simple tools like open-ended wrenches and screwdrivers, but infinitely more complicated for unknown reasons. So, you have seen the room. You do not see any threats inside the room. You see that all three of these things over here marked door are closed, and that there is more writing around them.
You can read the writing from where I am for now.
Vendar, he does not seem to report any threats. Are you going to signal the others?
Yeah, I'll signal the others.
Okay, others. You're going to be trying to get your wagon and lizards down the slope into the...
How does the signal look like, Vendar?
What?
How does the signal look like? Like, do you make like a butterfly out of your hands?
Probably beckon.
I would imagine he just raises a hand over his head and waves it toward himself, saying, "Come here."
I think he could cause.
How steep is the slope, Piston?
It's very steep.
I'm thinking... I think it'd be easier if it was just to fall straight, or if I want to go off to the distance a bit to the side and go down the slope sideways, or like at an angle.
You can tell that this particular slope is steep enough that if you tried to create your own switchback, the wagon would just roll over and roll sideways down the hill.
That's what I was thinking. Okay.
And I don't think the lizards would appreciate that.
It's not idiot.
Mildly put out.
Why don't all of you roll survival?
Oh god, another survival roll. We barely made it through those.
I cannot roll above a 10 to save my life. I just can't do it.
I mean, you guys beasted the first few. It was just the last one that gave you any trouble, and that's because
Used up all the luck.
the last one was supposed to be hard.
I did round him again.
Are we all rolling, or should just the ones in the...
Just the ones who are working with the cart.
I wish I had inspiration.
You need animal handling.
I need wisdom.
Cyrus too. But,
Raiken needs to get on my level.
21
What?
is
What's your survival at?
This was survival, yes?
Oh, what's your survival at?
That's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
I'm gonna write down.
Glom of knit. Shut up.
This was survival, yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
survival.
Wait, that's what was written on the post office in Going Postal.
Yes.
I
Yes.
remember now. I'm reading it. I'm like, wait, I recognize this.
At
You
least
like
only
those
2 of
that
them
seem
sucked.
familiar.
All hooves are up.
I'm trying to find an image, and it's just a joke based on, you know, the doors of Durin in Lord of the Rings.
I mean, possibly.
Speak friend and enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah, it's just like, just the word friend. Just say the word friend. This is the best password.
Yeah. It's the
Well,
best
I
password
learned
ever.
Password.
Was
Okay.
friend Elvish, what, or was it Dwarven word?
It was Elvish, that's why it was confusing.
Elon.
All right, good job. You guys managed to, you get off the cart and you begin working your way down slowly, using the ropes, chains, and netting to help ease it down behind the lizards. And you managed to make it without destroying yourselves, the cart, or the lizards.
Yay.
Nice.
And you are faced with this 20-foot by 20-foot doorway in a stone wall jutting from the sand inexplicably. It has Gnomish writing written on it.
Are those guys in the doorway when we get down there?
Yeah, they were waiting for you.
So, is there enough room? I'll speak to whoever's directly for. Is there enough room for the cart to like be stored in there? Because I see
My-
Vendar from.
Back and strong.
What are you saying, that's Vendor?
Yeah, whoever's serving for. I think it's Vendar right in front of me. So I was thinking the Vendar is like, is there enough room to get the cart and lizards in there?
Yeah,
Is it safe? No,
looks
no
like
trap?
it.
Alright. So, I will slowly lead the lizards and cart in, Tristan.
Okay. You move your cart and lizards into the room. It is dark inside. Those without dark vision are effectively blind.
Except for Ash.
Lizard 3.5.
Is Ash shedding light? You can have him do so.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of light is he shedding? Bright or dim?
Probably bright.
Bright
About,
light. Okay.
Those
Then
that-
very quickly this area is lit up with bright light for a 20-foot radius, and then dim light for another 20 beyond that.
After I get the cart parked, I'm gonna get into my stuff that's in and pull out a torch and light it.
I'm gonna have some dancing lights floating around and kind of direct them wherever I need more light.
Considering we were potentially being followed, and because the lizards might attempt to leave, should we make a wall of stone and close this doorway?
I
We
recommend leaving
can, but the only way getting back through that's going to be beating it down.
Or stone shape. Or
Or
shape
that.
stone, or whatever the spell is called. I say the correct name of the spell. I don't
But
remember
you'd
what-
still have to do it enough times to get the entire cart back through.
Once
But
I'm
I can seal it
inside,
up if you want.
yeah, once I'm inside, I'm going to investigate the gnome with a mechanical statue. I'm going to walk up to it and look at it.
Casa is on the cart driving it.
Well, this is people piling off.
Okay.
Vendor wants to check out the gym that gnome's holding.
If-
It's a real gym.
Okay.
Is everyone within range of battle now?
It's not a
did
trap.
Did we all
Punch
did we all
nothing.
travel in together?
Are you going to ask them to huddle in with you? Because Jebel I have here in the box. Leah went over here, Vendar went over there, and the others I just sort of assigned to be here.
When
Uh,
they're
No,
in two
I-
places at once.
It's just because Larmendis and Cyrus started talking about keeping the animals inside, the lizards inside.
Yep.
And I don't know if I was near them when they were having that conversation.
I mean, once they get inside, that's what they're going to be talking about, so yes.
Well, then my response when they did was recommending having Kubriel stay on guard here.
Do you want them to eat the lizards?
Can anybody create an illusion? Make it look like the door's not there? Or perhaps the entire thing isn't there? I don't know how big the illusion things are.
They don't
Not
last
for a
that
long enough. Yeah, not for a long
They don't
enough
last
time.
long. Okay.
Just check
So,
something.
yes. Oh, that's who I'm missing. Like, wait a minute. Why do I have so many? Oh, there's that V is not supposed to be there. Okay, I was like, why am I had 3 Vendars on the map. I wish I had access to map tools for this, but everybody needs to download it, and I need to be able to port forward, which I can't. I can't port forward here. So, I can't use it. So, this is how the room is currently laid out. Everybody's over here, except for Vendar, who's over here, and Leah, who's over here. They're checking out the statues. Vendar and Leah may roll investigation. Jebel just suggested to the others leaving Kubriel to guard the wagon and lizards in case anybody comes to try and fuck with them.
I'm a little bit.
I'm out.
Well, you probably won't be able to run it through the entire place anyways. And it would make them of use. Let us know if anyone comes in.
Yeah, you can talk to Kubriel from a distance.
Yes, Raiken, you're aware that riding a mount indoors is generally not a good idea.
So, how do I know my
Ah! Why the screaming?
What?
His microphone just went broke and it
Not to me.
screeched in my ears.
Yeah, not
Just for you, dude.
Yeah, it was just you.
your ears are breaking.
So,
Want to try that again?
how do I know what my passive investigation is? Because my observant perk says I also have a +5 to my passive investigation score.
Passive
investigation
investigation
is
is
10 plus
your
your
10%. Or, well, 10
Yeah.
plus investigation.
It's basically exactly the same thing as passive perception, only with investigation instead.
I
I
have
have
it
passive.
again. Alright, so I got 15.
You got a 15 to investigate? Okay. It appears to be a beautifully crafted stone statue of what appears to be a gnome, larger than life, and the stone that he is holding up appears to be a multifaceted cut gemstone, but created in the same stone as the rest of the statue, which might be marble.
Okay.
It does not appear to be itself a gemstone.
So let's go
So-
back to the group.
So I got a 21 on mine.
You got a 21, huh?
Yeah, maxed out.
Okay. This appears to be a lifelike, although larger than life-size rendering of a gnome in what might be marble, along with a mechanical dog, something that appears to be canine in shape, but not canine in life. The statue itself does not appear to be capable of moving mechanically. It seems to be just an image. Although the dog looks quite pettable in spite of its mechanical nature.
Jebba will have told Armendus what the Gnomish writing on the outside of the thing meant.
Okay. Then I guess we're in the right place.
Did you tell him or send it to him? Sam, are you aware of what it says then?
I remember the general gist of it.
But I can put it into the chat here. Because everyone else around will probably hear as well.
That's what the Gnomish on the outside said, yes.
Have you translated the writing around the doors?
Ash's light is making all of this visible. Ash himself is looking around. You see the glyph within the bright orb of light as an even brighter spot appears to be turning rapidly from one thing to another. He seems quite interested, although silent.
Yeah, I'm going. After I'm done watching the dog, I'm gonna go over to the pony one. That's a 7.
Okay. It appears to be a gnome and a mechanical pony, much like the mechanical dog. It appears to be just for show. It also appears to be made of the same stone. The lizards paw restlessly at the sand on the floor and nose it around, seemingly looking for food.
Jebel,
Yeah?
is it normal for gnomes to have mechanical pets?
I can only speak for forest gnomes and say no. The others, maybe, I don't know, we don't really follow with them much.
Because both of those statues show like animals, except the animals that clearly have like clockwork or something. It's kind of like the tools we found, the small things.
Yeah. Deborah probably looks very, very uncomfortable with this conversation.
I'm going to begin casting Detect Magic.
Okay. Are you casting it as a ritual?
Yes.
Okay.
So, should I be sealing up the door, or are we going with the send the tire here plan?
Somebody other than Laramendus is going to have to answer that question.
Also, because Larry Mendes expressed his opinion about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking now because it's going to take about 10 minutes.
How hard would it be to get the cart back out afterwards?
I would just take several minutes, so I was all beating down a stone wall.
Yeah, like I said.
Could you repeat that more slowly?
I think we should leave Gabriel here because I'm slightly concerned about these points on the floor.
The marks that are getting wiped away by the lizards as they stand there waiting to be told what to do, clawing at the floor. You hear their long nails scratching against the stone beneath the sand, and they keep digging their noses and pushing the sand around. Their tails sway behind them, moving the sand around, changing the look of the room.
And we should probably feed them before we head in.
Pretty much only this portion up here of the of that drag line or something moving, sliding through the sand line is left. Now that the lizards have walked in.
Bad color choice.
No, it wasn't a color choice. I accidentally clicked red earlier when I was trying to put a fill in. But I didn't care because I didn't have any writing there. Alright, so Cyrus is casting a spell over by the doorway. And
Yep.
uh,
Casting it doesn't take long. It's just concentrating to make it permanent takes a while.
how long does it take to cast?
In action.
Oh, okay, then never mind. You spend 6 seconds casting a spell, and how much are you able to create again?
Let's see here. I can make 10 10-foot by 10-foot panels
10 foot by 10 foot panels.
that are
Alright.
6 inches thick.
Alright, 1, 2,
It's like
3,
100 feet.
4. So it takes 16. 10 foot by 10 foot. Sorry. 10 foot by 10 foot, meaning it's 4. You only need 4 panels that are 6 inches thick. 4 panels to cover this with a 6-inch thick thing, but you could stack them one in front of the other to make it, you could do 8 of them, and then it would be a foot thick.
I could, but that means we have like 600 hit points worth of stone to bash through in one section. So I'm going to stick with just the half foot.
You are aware that 1 foot would still make it only 1/5 as thick as the rest of the wall. You walked through this doorway. You are aware that this is a 5-foot thick wall.
I think I'll still stick with the 6 with the half foot because the full foot would, well, I suppose if we're trying to.
Which side do you want to skew it toward? The outside or the inside? Or do
Skew
you-
it towards the
So-
inside.
Yeah. In other words, do you want to make one side look like a flush wall, like there was never a door there? And which side do you want to look that way?
The outside.
Okay.
Yes, the outside.
And yeah, I guess I'll just make it the foot thick.
Okay. You create a 1 foot thick, 20 by 20 foot wall of stone that seals against the walls here. You can see that it is 4 feet deep. There's still a 4 foot deep divot on your side, so you can tell where the door was.
You
Hold
know,
up. No one comes along and smash that sword on it.
it would take more than a single sword blow to get through it.
You're too young to get it. It's a Zelda joke.
There you go.
That's gonna take a while to destroy later. So no need to concentrate on it for 10 minutes for it to become, actually permanent.
Well, you know how we can break down the wall easy, right? Just shout. Crap. I can't even think of the phrase now.
Are you trying to make a joke about Raiken?
No, Kool-Aid Man.
Oh. You mean, oh yeah?
Well, is that what you say for the Kool-Aid Man to jump through? That's all we need to do to get the wall broken down.
Just shout, oh yeah, and break through it. Okay, so.
Oh, no, I get it. No, the sound like the sentence they say in the commercial before it comes slamming in.
Yeah.
I don't. What do they say? I'm thirsty.
I don't remember. Yeah, I think it's something like that.
What else would it be? All right. So there are 3 doors, 3 segments of door. Very large door on the opposite side of the room. In front of you, opposite to where Cyrus just walled everything off. Just so you know, as he walls it off, it suddenly becomes dimmer since you no longer have outside light filtering in through the doorway. You are now relying solely on Ash's light.
No. As I said that I pulled out a torch and I lit it. Remember?
Okay.
Well, so Cyrus put dancing lights all over the.
Yeah, but those are gone until I'm finished concentrating on this, because dancing lights is concentration.
All right.
Okay.
The acrid smell of the torch begins to fill the air.
I can hand one of you the everlasting torch.
Did you re-enchant
Hello,
it?
Menace.
That one was inside the bag of holding,
Oh, right.
so it didn't get disenchanted.
You enchant everlasting flame on things, Lair Mendes?
I can, but no one asked me to.
You can do
How
that.
hard? How hard?
Next time we
is
get
it?
into a city, I need you to do that.
If you can procure
Yeah.
for me a ruby worth about 50 gold.
I pull out a ruby. Is this good enough?
That's a 17 int to appraise?
It looks like it may be the right amount of stone. Yeah. You're
I
not
believe
you're
that
not
would
a
be
jeweler, but
sufficient.
you've seen these stones before. It seems like it could be right.
I cannot do it now. I have to prepare the spell, and that did not seem particularly necessary to prepare.
So you are now in a sealed room with a stone wall where a door used to be, and 3 closed stone or metal doors on the other side. I apologize. They do appear to be metal. They appear to be brassish or coppery in color.
It's just so I don't bust through them, isn't it?
Yes.
Is there any magic? I go around.
That's right. You were detecting magic. Yes, there is magic. You detect magic directly under the cart and about the doors.
Dun, dun, dun.
What kind of magic is directly under the cart?
It appears to be abjuration.
I will point that out, and also, what type of magic is on the doors? Probably also
Abjuration.
Yeah. Abjuration
Remove the
magic
cart then?
Yeah.
underneath the cart. I would recommend moving it, and it might be interesting to move some sand.
What is the range of detect magic? 30 feet?
30 feet. So
Okay.
I'm making a loop around the
Yep.
place.
That is...
After pointing those out.
Yeah, that is all you detect. I will point out that the roof appears to be 40 feet up. As I said, it was a 40-foot tall wall.
Yeah.
You also need to know that the detect magic is shortened by certain types of thickness and.
It's not
material.
shortened. It can't penetrate materials of a certain thickness. So, a foot of stone or a foot of wood, half a foot of stone, an inch of lead. Yeah, I'm aware of those. It's just if there is that much material or more, you can't see through it. If there is less than that much material, you can see through it.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that the magic thing under the cart wasn't like in a different floor.
No.
It's actually under the sun.
It is, yes. So you may move the cart. I'm lazy. We say that you move the cart.
Yeah, the cart has been moved.
Cart has been moved, and
It is known.
You may roll athletics, those who want to begin moving sand.
While that's happening, I'm going to investigate the statues because I find them interesting. More specifically, the ones with the mechanical.
this is a little embarrassing. I got a 0.
Nice.
I got a 4.
Nice.
So you get down on your knees and start scooping the sand away with your hands, and it just keeps flowing back into the places that you scooped it away from over and over, and it gets so frustrating you give up.
But then you get one scoop that looks really good, and then Raiken shifts a little bit, and
It
more
fills
sand
back
falls
in.
Yeah, I will eventually just give up.
It's equally embarrassing because it's only like 2 inches deep.
It's just such a wide area.
At least we got a 1 on the die and have a -1 in athletic.
All right,
God damn it.
Raiken is 22. Is anybody else moving? So okay, there you go.
My investigation on the statues with the mechanical creatures was a 15 because that's my passive.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely appear to be analogs of living creatures. It seems like the detail on these statues is exquisite, but they do appear to be just that, statues. It doesn't look like any of these parts are designed to move, but damned if it doesn't look like they could. You do see, like, very accurately cut gear teeth. You can see the rivets in the plating that makes up the skin of the creatures, giving them shape and giving them their lifelike shape, so that they're not just skeletons of mechanisms. but they are very clearly not living. The gnomes stood beside them seem proud and accomplished as they stand with their mechanical creations. That is the sense that this statue gives you, that these statues give you. But they do not appear to be functional in any way, simply expertly carved. I will point out that there is a good deal of wear and tear around the base of the statues. The feet of the figures depicted are worn a bit, which would indicate a vast amount of time exposed to the elements, to the wind with the shifting sands, which seems to line up with the amount of sand you see in this room.
Does it appear that there might have once been an inscription at the base at all, or
it
no
does
way to
not.
tell, or there was nothing? Okay.
There is an inscription on what appears to be a collar and tag on the mechanical dog. It says "Spot" in common.
Okay. I was gonna say I don't know Gnomish.
I know. It says it in common.
Interesting.
Dog's name is Spot, huh?
Alright, so let's see
Does
here.
there look like there's anything really sturdy to... Well...
Yeah, statues.
Is the doors in front of us... Do I see those to know that they're doors? Right?
Yes, they are metal. They stand out from the stone.
Okay, because I'm trying to think if once we leave this room with the lizards, they're gonna, like, decide to wander off if they're not, like, fastened to something. Or tied up, I should say.
There is a cart and there are statues.
So, Raiken and Vendar move the sand. It takes them a while since they are working without any other help. But they finally do get the area beneath the, formerly beneath the cart cleared. What you see is a 20-foot by 20-foot arcanum. An arcane sigil. A ward.
I'm going to roll some Arcana.
Alright.
I
Can I
want
do
to
the
do the
same?
same.
That is a 20.
Alright. There is a
Roll
mixture.
above a 12 today.
I got a 15.
8.
Laramentis.
Roll good today.
Judging by the style, the sweeps of the lines and circles, and the draconic wording inside of it, you know that this is an arcane warding glyph that requires a password of some kind, but to allow passage beyond it.
Mm-hmm.
Only Laramentis was capable of knowing that.
I will convey
Oh,
this
my
information.
15 wasn't good enough.
Nope. Not to know that kind of detail. The 15 would be enough to allow you to know that it is a ward of some kind, and it is arcane. But
And
Laramentis is specially
Let's go.
trained in abjuration.
It is true. It's my
is
speciality.
Good to have a speciality. What?
I said I'm assuming 8 means it looks pretty.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's got some draconic on there. You can read the draconic.
It says sup.
Butts are cool. Especially
The
Gnomish
words
butts.
aren't important so much as just the fact that there are words.
It says, get off my lawn.
But no, your roll wasn't high enough to put together the meanings conveyed by the combination of symbols and words.
So it is possible that the second translation that Jebel gave to us might be a hint at some kind of password to it.
Then
It is also possible that relatively frequently, if one casts Identify on magic that involves passphrases, it is possible to determine what they are if we would also like to do that instead. However,
I
that would
mean-
take time.
I have a guess.
Okay.
Jebel, would you mind standing on that and saying the Gnomish word for knowledge?
Okay. Then I do so.
You stand upon the arcanum, facing the doors, and say in Gnomish the word for knowledge. The word echoes around the room and back to you. Nothing happens.
Worth a try.
I take a look at the statues. Maybe possession?
What about science?
All good guesses.
I
No, I
tried the
think-
Gnomish word
So
for
it's
science.
creativity.
No, I have a feeling the statues could hint at something. They're all, like, proudly holding items to love. Maybe love.
Mm.
I said I tried science in Gnomish.
You try science. Again, nothing happens.
You do try love and creativity.
Was that in character or was that a joke?
No,
it's
Laramanda's
in
in character had suggested creativity, and Leah in character had suggested love.
Oh, okay, then I'll try those.
Engineering?
Spot. It's actually not a bad suggestion.
Wait, what? Spot? What?
It's the name of the dog.
What dog?
That dog.
Statue of the dog is a name tag. It says Spot.
Oh. Okay.
I doubt that one's the answer, but
It's a funny one.
I'd say spot.
Hey, you say spot. Nothing happens.
but dispel is a high level. That's lots of magic.
But have you tried
Identify
love?
is a ritual.
Have you tried love or creativity yet?
Yeah, I said I tried them.
Engineering?
Tristan?
What?
Engineering?
While this is being done, I am going to begin casting Identify if
Okay.
people
So,
don't.
are we just gonna guess?
This statement is in character, unless anyone has any hesitation about that.
So Tristan, are we just gonna guess words until you eventually say that's the right one?
I mean,
Or
I
until
know.
it blows up.
I know what the right one is.
So
Right.
everyone... Jebel's just going to repeat whatever words people...
Yeah.
So just when you say...
Okay.
one,
It's just
Jebel
so
says it.
they shout out words, you try them, and I tell you if it's right or wrong. Got that.
Yeah. So love or
We did love creativity, science, engineering.
I can't make any suggestions now because I'm casting a ritual.
It's true.
Oh,
possession?
there.
Engineering. Science.
Wisdom.
possession. That's one I suggested.
I had said knowledge, but
He wrote it. I think no, he didn't. Yeah.
So the only right.
I'm gonna say,
Wisdom.
what's the word? I can't even think of the bloody word. Curiosity.
Ooh, I like that one.
Pride.
Ooh.
Thank you for saying that one. That one was going to be one of my guesses.
All of these are very good guesses. None of them works.
Tools?
Ooh.
Clockwork.
Orange. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Too late. It's in there.
Nope, no list.
It
You
is
said
set.
it.
Okay, I'm going to try and... Jebel's just going to sit and just try and think of the history of Garland as he knows it.
Okay, you may roll a history check.
I'm still looking at the statues, trying. I'm all into the idea that they are hinting the passwords, so I keep looking at them to see what's in common.
I got an 18.
wealth?
I will write it in a second. It doesn't work.
So other than the writing on the statues that they found,
This is on the door, not the statues. As far as
What
I'm
if
aware,
it's-
the only writing on the statue was the word "spot" on a dog tag.
What if
That's
it's
what I
more
thought.
than one word?
Gnome.
and there was a door. There was writing on the main entrance, right?
I will let you know that Jebel has stopped taking suggestions and is now quietly sitting, legs crossed, deep in thought.
But we can still discuss that. So
You can still discuss, but you won't be able to try anything unless you suddenly know Gnomish.
So it is in Gnomish.
I mean, that's the only thing we have been trying. So.
It is true.
I mean, I suppose we could try all the same answers in common.
It is logical that it would be in Gnomish.
Yes.
Greatest gift to gnomankind is themselves. Gnomes.
Yeah. No, just me.
The password is actually, "Hi, I'm Jebel."
Intelligence could be maybe.
That we
tried
already tried that one.
That's literally the first one on the list.
Yes.
So I don't remember what he said.
Consciousness.
The wording that was on the doorway again.
It's in the chat.
Claire Mendes cannot help.
What is the greatest gift given to gnome kind?
So that's the one on this door. You had asked the door outside. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure which thing you're asking about. Both things are in chat though.
And both are common knowledge to all of us.
That's a quick rundown of the basics there. Raiken, gnome! Yes, you are a man of culture, Raiken.
I'm just saying no, because that's like the same in common as it is in Gnomish. It's great.
I'll try technology.
Technology. No.
Okay. Try intelligence.
Did.
It
Right.
is-
It's up at the top.
Oh fuck.
Try life.
Life.
That was going to be the first suggestion when I was like, shit, I can't make any suggestions.
I like it because it's blunt and awful, but it's not the answer.
I mean, I think it could be.
No, it could be. It's not. That's a good one, though. I should probably use that somewhere else. Maybe a culture that's more
Metal?
full of metal. No.
Sand.
Marble.
What?
Sand.
Oh, sand. No.
Like, pretty much scraping the bottle of the barrel at this point.
Fish.
Truly, this has been our greatest adversary.
I remember when the greatest adversary was a couple of holes in the floor.
There were more than a couple.
There became more than a couple. And then they became bigger. I went through that whole dungeon writing up all these little traps and tricks and stuff that would make sense in a place that hadn't been prepared to be, you know, a trap and trick area except for a couple things. The rest was like nasty zombie fights. Then I was just like, you know what? This place is decrepit. It's fucking, you know, just falling apart after decades of disuse. There's gonna be crumbly floors. Yeah, we'll put in some crumbly floors. That'll be a good one. Nearly killed the party with it.
I thought you were talking about the beholder place.
Maybe skilled hands.
good one, but no.
Craftsmanship.
You
Craftsmanship.
tried that, didn't it? No, we didn't.
I mean, you have engineering, so it's similar, but another good guess. But not it.
The answer is Francis.
It's always Francis.
Ingenuity.
That was the 0th one we tried.
What about perseverance?
I like those.
So I'm trying to think of something that would be. Jebel, what is something as a gnome that you're proud of? For being a gnome.
I know the answer. Prehensile tongues.
I'm surprised that he hasn't taken advantage of his yet.
I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot.
I know somebody
That's
who
why I'm
didn't.
not allowed to play a gnome.
Prehensile tongues.
Yeah.
Like a fucking giraffe.
They can lick their own eyebrows.
Yeah, do you not remember? Rowan used to talk about how one of his teachers used to lick his own eyebrows.
I'm glad somebody remembered that.
It immediately started out. I was like, that sounds really weird.
Fucking weird.
I said, I remember saying he must have been popular with the ladies.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to give it to ingenuity.
Do we have creativity?
Because it's pretty close to what I was going for.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it to ingenuity, honestly.
Nope.
I don't know.
Can you tell us what you're going for then? Because now I'm curious.
Your ritual completes right as they give the answer ingenuity. Where is exactly how does that work? Do you roll against a DC to get it, or does it just give it to you, or is it a hint? What is it?
I mean,
What does the spell say?
You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. I just know, I think a lot of things, like magic items, will say in their description, like if it has some kind of keyword, the identify spell will give it to you. I don't know if that's always the case. I think it's up to your discretion whether that would work or not.
Yeah.
So Laramendus thought it's worth 11 minutes to try. So if it didn't work, then it didn't work. But
What about inventiveness?
So I'm giving it to ingenuity.
Okay.
I would love to know what you originally intended. though.
Cleverness.
So I say a word that I don't know what it means.
What's that mean?
He just shrugs as he says something in Gnomish, and the
No,
door
what's that mean?
the door opens.
So what am I translating for everyone else now? And it's kind of like an, oh.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
I was going to say cunning.
Nice.
The doors
Cunning.
grind open, sliding sideways into the wall. The center door actually slides downward into the stone, and you see that center one, 10 feet across, here, reveals what looks to be a platform that as the door slides away, the platform begins sliding down a slope, and the platform is large enough for large creatures to stand upon. And as it disappears down over the crest of the slope out of sight, another platform slides out and then makes the same motion a few seconds later.
So it's
Okay.
an elevator.
And in the silence, Jebel just says, Am I cunning?
I'm gonna wait for the next platform to appear and then jump on
At that question, the door slammed shut. No, I'm kidding. So each red door here reveals a staircase, regular stone staircase, heading downward, and this gray door here seems to reveal this platform system that slides into position, waits a few seconds, and then begins sliding down the slope, and is replaced by another one that comes out of the floor, slightly down from it.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on one. and
Very large escalator.
Ride it down.
Now, Leah.
Okay.
There, Raiken has to jump after her.
Well, we're gonna die. I'm taking the stairs.
These stairs appear to be like in the same room, like so 2 stairs.
Yeah, there's nothing separating the staircases except for the sliding platform, which
Okay,
if you were daring, you could just jump across to the other staircase.
Okay.
And then get hit on the head as a
Staircase just
by a
going up,
platform.
one even longer coming down, and then an elevator or escalator.
Yeah, it is literally an escalator. Like for carts and things. Like I said, it looks big enough to fit the cart on, and easily large enough for a large creature.
Are they both going down, or is one coming up?
No, the whole thing is just going down, and it's one after
I was
another
saying
going
one
down.
of the staircases went down, and the other one went up.
I mean, those are
Staircases.
not moving, so yes. Whichever one you want is going down, and the other one is coming up. Alright, so that means...
This is fun.
Yes, so you start up at the top here, and then you head down to the low end here. You can see that there is dim light illuminating the lower stairs. Let's see.
Where's Gabrielle?
By the
You left her.
wagon.
Okay, just making sure then.
So I'm like grinning down this lift as I find it amusing while Raiken is looking at me angrily.
I'm going to go down the stairs and investigate the lift as I'm going.
Okay.
I'm
The
interested
lift-
in its function.
The lift is moving at a reasonably slow pace. In fact, if you walked with any diligence, you would outpace it on the staircase.
I'm not trying to do that.
Okay. The lift appears to be driven by some series of mechanisms, which include what appears to be a helically threaded screw. For lack of a better term, it is a screw that is driving in one rotational direction, and as it drives, these platforms that seem to have some formation to the bottom of them ride the screw downward. If it were possible to reverse the direction that the screw is rotating, you are confident that the platforms would rise instead of fall.
Interesting.
It helps to have a high intelligence.
I love it. I love it so much.
I want one, but I can't have it.
It makes me so happy
allowed.
that Leah went and did that, because Larmendus would not.
It wouldn't have investigated otherwise.
No, he wouldn't have asked for the super magic thing because it's rude.
I see. As you get to the bottom, you will notice that over the omnipresent sound of the grinding of the stone on the screw, there is another scraping as of stand. And it sounds like metal against stone grinding through sand. So I just want people to be aware that it is a long staircase. Are you capable of reading the words on the screen?
Long
Yes.
downward staircase. 85 foot.
Yes, 85 foots.
85 foot. It goes down 85 foots. Raiken, you are on the platform that immediately follows Leah's platform, and you are riding down after her. You can see that the others are capable of outpacing you on the stairs. Do you continue riding?
God damn it!
Cord damn it?
Rebel is definitely taking the stairs.
Raiken will hop off and run down the stairs.
Make a dex save.
Do so, please.
What am I rolling?
Dex.
Oh god.
I would say I'm sorry, but I'm not.
Dex saving throw.
18.
Okay, you land safely on the stairs as you jump off of the platform. Are you going to climb onto Leah's or simply follow it?
Just gonna follow it.
Okay. You all descend. I need to make sure that I'm clicking on the right room now, because now the numbers are getting a little interesting. Here we go. Yeah.
So, I forgot, Sam, what room are you supposed to die in?
39.
39.
Okay. So, in here, I will mark out these squares with yellow. The yellow marked squares are lit torches in sconces that are illuminating the room. A gentle flame burns on them, and you can smell the oil burning.
What happens to the platform I'm standing on once it reaches the bottom?
It slides into the ground, and you are forced to step onto the non-moving floor.
Okay.
Make a dex save.
I just step up onto the floor.
Alright.
And then I'm going to stand next to Raiken with like my hands behind my feet and like move proudly between my toes and my heels, kind of back and forth.
Have fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I wonder if there's more fun stuff like this in here. It's like a playhouse. Never been to a playhouse.
And
Yeah,
how
there
you
we
know
go.
what one is?
Alright, so we'll put Leah here. We'll put Raiken here. We'll put Cyrus over here. With Vendar.
DBM.
And Larmendis. And we'll put Yukikaze over here for fun. And who am I missing? Jebel. Okay. So for simplicity, you all reach the bottom of these stairs at the same time, because people are, Raiken at least is concerned about Leah, and Larmendis is examining the mechanisms. This room is lit by these torches. The light does seem ample, as the surfaces are pale and so good at reflecting it. And you immediately notice that the scraping sound you were hearing, which was not the mechanism, is coming from the slow movement of the several creatures most of the way across the room ahead of you. Now, again, you only became aware of the noise as you got toward the bottom. You are not sure when these creatures got there, how long they've been doing this, but they appear to be humanoid-sized, 4 of them, and they appear to be dragging bodies, one each, between the two sets. You will want to roll initiative.
Of course.
Yep. I got a 15 due to halfling luck. use that feature super often, but it's very nice when I get to.
Cyrus got a 15. So write them down and then read them off one at a time.
I got a 5. That's Jebel.
Jebel got a 5. Oh, Jebel got a 5.
Vendar got a 22.
Vendar got a 22.
Lara
Yeah, I
Mendes
got
got a
12.
17. Oh,
Lara Mendes got a 17. Somebody got a 12?
Yeah.
Leah got a 12.
Yuki Kaze got a whopping 3.
Kaze got a 3.
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
What did Raiken get?
14.
You rolled a natural 1.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Then why does it say 14?
No, that's for Raiken. He's talking about me. Raiken's 14. I rolled a natural 1, so I got a 3.
I said Raiken because I was asking about Raiken.
Yeah, Raiken got a 14.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a nat 1. Yuki Kaze got a nat 1.
Jebel made a comment after you already, Leah already responded with.
Okay, well, so no, but you told me you got a 3, but that's different from a nat 1. A nat 1, you can get a nat 1 in initiative, not in skill checks. In initiative, nat 1 means you go last, regardless of what your total is, because you could have a +8 and be like, I got a 9.
Oh,
It's like,
you know how often I've gotten it? I didn't know that.
you get too many nat 1s. Nat 20s mean you go first, unless somebody else got a nat 20, and then you...
So, even with my +2, if I get a 1, I'm last.
In initiative. It doesn't count for skill checks, but it counts for initiative, and 1 also means an automatic miss on attacks.
Okay, I had never had that and never knew about it, because I never really rolled 1s in initiative.
that's fair. Now we know.
Alright, what did my bad guys get?
Are they really bad guys? I mean, we don't even know that.
You don't know that. What did my creatures get?
There we go. Thank you.
You're
So we got
They're the
mummies.
heroes of their own stories.
So we got 4 mummies and 2 deadbeats. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna see what the DB is.
So
Dragonborn
Kubriel is still up with the cart, is how I've been running this. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. That is good. 22.
And here's where we fight the 400 million thousand.
No, that's in the next room.
We get back up there and Kubrel's chewing on a monster he killed.
The mummies look at us and run away, and then suddenly mummy lords start pouring through the...
I cannot last. What the hell?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, because no one can be...
Right in the middle of the pack.
Can't be more last than Yuki Kaze.
Okay, so, as usual, the initiative is posted to pinned. So if you drop the pins down, it's the top one. So it is Vendar, then Laramendis, then Cyrus, then Raiken, then Leah, then the monsters, then Jebel, then Yuki Kaze.
Woo!
What you see ahead of you, you see, of course, the 2 dead bodies. They are in a patchwork of armor, and they seem to be covered in sand. They have scabbards or weapons hanging from them. They definitely appear to be dead. There are limbs twisted at odd angles. The armor is patched or dented and destroyed in places. They look like they've been through hell. I will say now that the ones dragging them look similar. As they turn toward you as you enter the room, letting go of the bodies they are dragging, you can see that their skin is dried like a husk, and that their clothing, such as it is, hangs off of them in ribbons and tatters. To the left of them is some pieces of armor, which you know will afford them AC. There is no uniformity. One appears to be dressed in chunks of plate armor, while another has shreds of leather left over. And at their side hang weapons that they seem capable of using.
Is there a particular direction they were dragging the bodies?
They seem to be dragging it toward that door.
The one up north?
Yes, the one up north. Now, I will say, because I should say, that there is a good deal of very, what's the word I'm looking for? Intricate scroll work around this door. Not unlike the previous two doors. However, there is not writing among this scroll work. The scroll work seems to be curling and wisp-like patterns up around the sides of the door and across the top. The door does appear to be closed. You cannot tell from here, because they're standing in the way, how it might open, but they seem like they were intending to open it. What is interesting about the scroll work is that among the curls and twists and lines at the very center over the door, there seems to be very prominently and obviously an imagery resembling an eye, like a human eye.
Like a left one?
Yeah, sure.
Lowercase.
Shut up.
That was a better comment.
I hate both of you. That is what you should know about this, what you are dealing with so far. To your left and right, because it is illuminated, you know that there are two other doors. You can see that these are closed, and you can see from here that they are intricate and a mixture of wood and metal, done up very artistically and tastefully. They appear to open on hinges, as in modern society. I'm referring to... So, just in case it hasn't been clear, I'm using the same key throughout. So, all of the walls of the room are going to be represented by the dark gray. If you see the dark gray, that is a solid stone object, whether it is a wall or a column. So these are 4 columns, in case that wasn't clear. The room is otherwise relatively bare. There is a door over here with intricate scroll work, which includes the image of what appears to be an eye at the top. And then there are doors of intricate design to either side, with no scroll work around them.
Is it possible to tell what race the creatures are/were?
You may roll nature.
Alright, gonna mute my roll. Rolled good for once, 18.
Okay. You can tell that this one over here was human. This one here seems to be a dwarf. This one is a dragonborn. Well, that's unfortunate.
What?
The distinguishing B for dragonborn got lost behind the DB for dead body. So I'll just get rid of the. I'll just get rid of the hyphen. Doesn't matter. Gnome.
You know, you can lower the size of it.
Nah.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
Or you can add wrap text so it bumps down.
Nah.
Again, where's the fun in that?
Or we could just say, fuck it, we'll do it live.
There we go. Human, Gnome, Dragonborn, and Dwarf.
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn. And so, we now enter initiative. They seem to know you are there, as they are turning toward you, having let go of their cargo.
Done.
So it's my turn, right?
Vendar is first.
Attack Vendar.
They look very much like moving corpses.
I'm going to shoot one of them with my bow.
With your bow.
I will use sharpshooter, because why not?
Okay. You shoot
Because
sharply.
yes, that would be why not.
So that's 16 to hit.
Which one are you aiming at?
What are with the armors that they're all wearing?
The Dragonborn one appears to have scraps of plate still attached to him. The dwarf seems to have chain, the human seems to have leather, and the gnome seems to have nothing.
Hit the human.
Ooh, naked.
I mean, no armor. He seems to have clothing.
Sure he does.
Yeah.
But it's torn in just the right places.
I did
Yeah.
put those in. I was not sure. There we go.
Human.
The human. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted to click on. I wanted this. Alright. So, you're attacking this guy that I've just highlighted. Let's see. Oops, stop scrolling the wrong window. So, AC.
16 to hit.
Okay. Cool. That hits. Your arrow.
Okay.
Huh?
Since Yen has turned an initiative, I get my sneak attack.
Correct.
5d6, so... $39 points of damage. Magical piercing damage.
That is very important. Okay, 39 you said.
And then I will use my cunning action to run behind the pillar on the bottom right.
Alright.
Move that right door.
As your magic arrow strikes him, you see chunks of the armor enshrouding him explode off, and his arm falls free of his body.
Ooh.
Does it continue moving? The arm, I mean.
Away. Please.
I know what you mean. You'll have to wait and see.
Uh-oh.
That was a really good hit. And really good use of a magic item. Alright, so you are here, and you are moving to where?
I'd be behind that that pillar on the right there. Yeah, right there.
Right here?
So that so I can block the vision between there, so I can hide and
Okay.
sneak attack.
You may move there. Are you going to roll hide as part of a cunning action?
Roll high.
How far did I have to run to get there?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So you used your cunning action to dash.
Yeah, I'd use my cunning action to dash.
Okay, that is fine. That means that it is now... Wait. We need music. What kind of music should we have? We should have music.
Don't fear the Reaper.
Egyptian.
What about... Would that
Monster
work?
Mash.
Yeah, I was about to say, but I was trying to figure out what it was called. You beat me to it.
Aladdin music.
No, that's a graveyard bash.
Is there voices playing?
I don't hear anything. Oh, I got it muted.
But it's the actual dialogue from Aladdin.
I don't want that. Alright, let's try this one.
I mean, it is music.
It'll do.
Arabian Nights.
This is not a spot for cat. One.
Okay. So, now we got that out of the way. We need Larmendus. Holy crap, Larmendus is toward the beginning of initiative.
It is impressive. And, you know, and I forgot to cast on myself when we were in the other room.
Mage Armor?
Mage Armor. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. You cast Mage Armor. Do you do anything else, like move?
I am going to take one step back.
You're going to take one step back.
You step onto the lift and goes back down on the spot you were.
I was on the stairs.
Yeah, no, it just would be extremely funny.
Okay. So, Cyrus.
I'm gonna make a ringed wall of fire around them.
Okay. How far away? What is the farthest away you can place one of the wall squares?
Let me double check this right. I can do it 120 feet away. So, make a ringed wall centered in the middle of them. It's a 20-foot diameter.
Don't you have to create segments of wall?
I have two options. I can make it either 60 foot long, 20 feet high, 1 foot thick, or I can make it or I can make it a ringed wall that is 20 foot in diameter, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick.
Oh, okay. And then a 1 foot thick wall of fire, 20 feet wide, centered on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 feet in diameter.
Yep.
1, 2.
That's what it says.
Gotcha.
And obviously the harmful part is faced towards them.
Yeah. I guess we'll just do that.
Pointing in this way.
We'll do this.
Let me double check one thing.
$20-foot diameter. So it is 4 by 4 with an open center. So the fire springs up under 3 of them. And the dead
And
body.
then you make some dex saves. I think
Okay.
it was. The objective is dex. Yeah, dex saves.
Okay. There's something open that I shouldn't. No? Okay. Weird. Alright. Human, dragonborn, dwarf. Goodness gracious. Sorry, I'm just getting everything written down for all 4 of them so that it's all goody goody good to go. Okay, that'll do for that. So you said they have to make dex saves?
Yep. I know all the ones that are directly in the fire need to, but I'm not sure if the other one does.
Probably not.
Well, it says any creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of the, of basically 10 feet of the harmful side of the wall.
Okay, so it hasn't ended its turn yet. Do they have to make the saves now or later?
I know the ones that the wall starts on, they have to make the saves now.
Okay. Then he doesn't have to do anything unless he ends his turn where it says.
Okay.
So dex saves, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Human got an 18. Gnome got a 3. Dwarf got a 12.
What the middle one get? Sorry?
3.
Ah. Alright, well, human makes it, the other 2 fail. For 22 points of fire damage.
22 points of fire damage. Let's see here. Ooh.
That they cannot resist.
That's fine. They're weak to it.
Oh. Well, dang.
Yes. The fire springs up under them and burns them badly. You can tell that they are vulnerable to fire.
You monster.
Good day to be me. Or at least a good fight. We'll see how the rest of it pans out.
Yes, large sections of their
And
body
poorly,
burn away. Large sections of their body burn away to ash.
Having lost all of her fire abilities right before we fight a bunch of things that are vulnerable to fire.
Wall of fire provides cover.
It doesn't say
It's
anything
20
about providing
feet
cover.
high. It probably provides cover. Or concealment. Concealment, rather. Remember, cover and concealment are different. It's definitely giving you a visual impairment, so they have concealment, but they don't have cover. You could shoot through it.
Right.
The one that made his save, does he take anything?
He takes half.
Half. Okay, so he just
So
takes
if he's
the
vulnerable.
Yeah, he takes the full 22. Cool. He's still up. Actually, you can't tell. Because there's a big old wall of fire there, and you can't see anything.
Alright. And I'm gonna start moving towards that pillar on the right.
Where Vendar is?
Yep.
How far do you get? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Not
There.
30.
25. Okay.
Because you're a little guy.
He is. He's a little halfling guy. Alright, after Cyrus is Raiken.
Ha ha! Even though they're all covered in fire, so I don't really want to go.
You can reach through that if you go on the right section. Maybe.
You could go spit lightning at him.
I mean, you do just see a wall of fire where the enemies used to be. You don't see the enemies anymore.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think I'm going to go to D12.
You are going to go to D12.
Z12.
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 Zulu?
Zulu 12. Boom. Raiken moves to Zulu 12.
And,
You can see
There
shapes on
is
the other
what I
side of
was
the
playing.
flames.
Use my lightning breath.
Okay.
Oh, Hoko.
I don't remember what the word was.
Let me.
Raiken no Hoko. That was it.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yes, like so, going straight into the fire.
The
Okay.
line one.
Yep. Lightning is a line.
How long is the line? This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
It's pretty
It's
long.
right. It's 30 feet. That's why I went.
Okay. So there is Raiken no Hoko. As you blast lightning out of your mouth across the enemies through the wall of flame. You see the flames part momentarily around your bolt of lightning, and you can see the enemies burning within.
And then they must make a dex save.
Alright, the Dragonborn gets a 13.
He fails.
The human gets a 15.
He succeeded.
Okay, what is the damage for the failure?
Let's see. Okay, 3d6.
Damn.
9.
9.
I rolled 2 shitty rolls. Pissed me
Alright.
off.
They are neither weak nor resistant to lightning damage. So, 9 to the Dragonborn and 4 to the human.
And let's see. I went 25 feet. I'll go back 5 feet then.
You back up 5 feet.
And that'll be it.
Okay, cool. We shall save that. Then, whoops, I keep scrolling the wrong damn thing.
Eat me.
There we go. Leah? Alright, Leah.
Alright, can I see any targets?
You may attack any of those targets with disadvantage. Unless you get closer. Actually, that's not guaranteed because Raiken made them make a save, so you don't know if that would actually work. You know that you can attack them with disadvantage because the fire makes them near impossible to see from this distance.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up so I'm right next to Raiken on AA.
Okay.
Then I'd like to take a look at this. Oh, where is it? There it is.
You can see shapes beyond the flames.
Okay. It's not considered total cover.
It's not cover, it's concealment.
Okay, good. Because then I'm going to use Witch Bolt.
Okay.
I'm going to use it on the one straight ahead of me, the DB.
Okay.
Or is it the MDE? I just...
Yeah, no, he's
the
Dragonborn.
DBs are bodies.
That's the Dragonborn.
This one
That's the DBs.
here.
DBs are bodies.
Right. Little DB is a dead body.
Okay, gotcha. So then it has to
MDB is
be-
Mummy Dragonborn.
Okay, then I take Dragonborn.
Okay. What must I roll, or what are you rolling?
Let me see.
Attack roll at disadvantage.
I believe it is. Yeah, ranged spell attack against a creature.
Okay. Make your ranged spell attack.
with disadvantage, right?
I'm
Like,
simply
concealment, yeah. Right?
I mean, since she had closed the distance, I was just going to increase their AC.
I'm okay with that too.
Treat it like partial cover. Because she does have a little ability to see them now.
Yeah.
So make your ranged spell attack, and I will have adjusted their AC accordingly.
Yeah. Let's see. Spell attack plus 8, so 25.
Okay, you hit.
Good. Then it takes, let's see, 5d12 damage. That's all my d12.
That's a lot of damage.
That's
Now,
why I'm
what is
using
the
it,
damage
because-
type?
Lightning.
I believe so, yes.
Yes, I just want to know for certain.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying that you answered for me, Derek, just saying.
Sorry. I will refrain from doing that in the future.
Now then, lightning damage. Alright, we know that they are
I just had to
neither...
find all my d12s.
Alright, neither weak nor resistant.
Because that's why I have a dice tower. That was awful, but... Well, there's 2 maximums.
I'd call that not awful, then.
Well, there's also... The remaining are 2 2s and a 1.
Okay, maybe a little bit awful.
So you averaged out then.
Let's see, 4, 5,
29, by the way.
4... So, 29
Mm-hmm.
points of lightning damage.
Okay, 29 damage. Not bad.
It's better than my shitty 9.
You see beyond the flames as your witch bolt momentarily parts them, that a portion of the armor and a portion of the Dragonborn's body explodes and falls to the ground.
Oh god, I don't like this.
Is it dead? I can tell.
No, it
because
is still
my-
standing.
Okay. Yeah, because as a concentration, it will continue being connected in between us, and it would stop if the target dies. So I can tell if it dies.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, father and daughter kind of steps up and shoot lightning.
Yep.
Lightning!
Father-daughter lightning bolts.
Father,
Pew!
daughter, lightning attack!
Fire's better.
Get a picture of Gohan and Goku doing Father Son Kamehameha.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Only he's spitting it out of his mouth, and I'm using a wand.
Generational lightning attack. Alright, so that is all you do for now, Leah?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes it the Birdgar's turn. So, Cyrus, they are going to start moving at the beginning of their turn, since these ones already took the damage when it sprung up. They are able to move without taking any further problems, correct?
Let me double check.
Here come the Murrays.
They will take damage if they end their turn within 10 feet of the inside of the wall, or actually inside the wall, or if they move into the wall for the first time on their turn.
Okay, so they can move through it without any problems.
I believe so.
Alright. They're going
As
to
long as
move
they,
through it.
are already in it. They can move, out of it. But they'd have to, go around. If they're taking, another step in the wall, it's their first step
Mm-hmm.
in the wall.
Well, but they already started in it. Because you sprung it up under them. They already took the damage for it. Right?
Well, it says when the creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall for the first time on a turn or ends its turn there. So, in my mind, that means the one you just moved, if it moved south, it would take damage. But if it stepped out to the right and then went south, it would be fine.
The reason you're wrong is that he already entered the wall for the first time on his turn when you sprung it up.
Yeah.
The only one that would count would be the MDE. That would be the only one that would.
Because
get
it's
hurt.
on a turn, so your turn is part of this round. So he
It's not
already
on a turn, it's on their turn.
he's already in it.
Yeah, he's all. I'm agreeing with Tristan. He's already in it. Since
You
he's
can't-
going out of it, he won't take damage again.
Yeah,
But if
you're
you're
not.
stopping his turn inside it, then
They're trying to fix the problem they created in 4th edition with this ambiguous wording and make it so that you only take damage for something once a turn. If he took damage now, he'd be taking it twice in a turn. Now, so he moves here and he's going to attack.
No.
Ooh, I gave them actions.
Nice.
What a surprise.
Okay. Let's go with that one, because that one sounds fun.
I was gonna post a Kumashok GIF, but I remembered that the GIFs for it aren't great in the GIF keyboard.
Oh. Leah and Raiken must both make dexterity saving throws as the zombie comes, crispily out of the flames, still ablaze, and then reels back and breathes a blast of sandy air across them.
So sprinkly.
It gets everywhere, trust me.
what did he say? Dexterity?
Dexterity saving throw against a
Yeah.
sandblast.
So I got a 20.
I got a 14.
And all of you see that this area here is covered in a cloud of sand. So, you got a what, Raiken? 14?
Yeah.
Okay, and Leah said 20?
Yeah.
Okay. Leah, you're fine. Raiken, you get sand in your eyes and in your everything. And you have disadvantage on all attack rolls for the next 2 rounds.
Oh, this is why I needed Kubriel.
2 rounds, wow.
Everybody has said that Kubriel should stay.
Oh, I even wrote a description here that I could read you. Man, I was smart back then. Being, like, 4 weeks ago. A little more than bone, dry leathery skin, and the ragged trappings they wore in life. These husks wander the tomb in search of... wait, why would I read that? You don't know what they're doing.
Maybe it's for, like, later.
Maybe. Maybe it was for me.
Next time we're leaving Kyoko.
So, yes. This thing suddenly exudes a blast of sand, of sandy wind that covers this area and then falls to the ground. There is no sand scattered around the floor, and it's coating Raiken. Leah managed to protect her eyes and face. Now this one is going to move forward in a straight line. So when he moves through the wall, what happens, Cyrus?
Need a dex save.
A dex save. He got a 16.
That meets it, but it still takes half damage, but it's effectively full damage in its case.
Okay, roll the damage. Or what was the damage? 22? Same damage?
I would assume I just re-roll it again because it's a different creature
Okay.
moving through it, different instance.
Then roll it.
I am.
Oh, my music is gone. Damn it.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah,
I
it's too
didn't
quiet.
notice until I pointed it out.
27 points of fire damage.
27 points of fire damage. Let's go with
That's
this
a
one.
lot of fire damage.
He's gotten hit pretty decently now. That's a 29, a 27, and a 9.
Ray of Frost is not going to be a great one to use. And I'm still going to use it, because I did take a nature check.
Guaco, did you make a concentration check? Like, was one required when they got hit by the sand or whatever? Because I didn't hear if there was damage.
There was no damage.
There wasn't any damage. No.
Alright, sorry, just wanted to make sure, because I tend to forget those.
Yeah, and I was specifically waiting to hear if there were any damage. So
I actually just named that one Sand Attack after the Pokemon move. It's just a status affecting move. Okay.
Just like the Pokemon, my accuracy drops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, you should also grant advantage for the same amount of time. Yeah, oh, that's what
Usually advantage is only imposed in one direction. So you either a condition grants advantage to the attacker or grants you disadvantage. I think.
Very well.
Depending on how nasty you want the ability to be.
It's no skin off my zombies. Okay, let's see.
It's
you
just
said
sloughing.
20.
It's no limbs off them.
So he is burned to almost nothing. Like, there is just, like, bone and armor clanking toward you. The rest is fire.
Oh god, he's still with her. No, I'm just kidding.
He's still there.
Tristan?
Yes?
If you're wanting to make it both advantage against them and them having disadvantage, you could just give them the blind condition.
It's fine.
That does the same.
I get you. It's fine. I don't need it to be that nasty. It's just something I was thinking about, but I'll remember that for later. Thank you.
Why the clapping?
Because it's Alex. Alright, Alex. You're taking an attack as this thing strikes at you with its clawed draconic hand.
stay away from my papa.
It scores a 19 on your AC.
It misses.
Okay. And then it's going to try and bite Leah.
No, Leah! I don't know what's happening.
It got a 22 against Leah.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay.
I don't remember that means
put her
that
down
it
now. She's a zombie.
Remember that this activates your pendant.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's for the next turn though.
Yes, it's for any following attacks for the next turn. So even during this turn too.
Yeah.
I always forget about that pendant, mostly because I wasn't here when it was acquired.
Yeah, and that she keeps forgetting to use it. Now I'm starting to remember to tell her.
Yeah, but now I also remember myself.
Okay, so 15 magical piercing damage.
Okay.
And you will need to make a con saving throw.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
Because that too. But let me write on 15 on HP. Let's just.
And also, yeah.
Damage? Yeah.
15 magical piercing damage, and also make the con saving throw, and then we'll do the Hellish Rebuke.
Yep. Con saving throw. That is 17.
Okay, you're fine.
Yeah. And then the Hellish Rebuke, which is it's a reaction.
Yep. It's a reaction. It's a spell.
Mentality is run by Hellish Flame. The creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. We got an 8.
He fails.
He about to be toasty.
Oh no, he's definitely destroyed because he's only got 5 HP left.
It has so much HP?
It had 5 hit points left when it attacked you.
Yeah, then there's no point for me to roll 60 d10s.
You should still roll.
What?
You can
The
still
minimum damage is 12.
The minimum damage is, yeah. So this
I'm just gonna write down negative a lot.
But can mummies come back to life?
I mean,
Roll
they
for
did.
it.
They did once,
Once you
right?
take an action.
I need a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. Who's next? After the... Well, wait. The mummies aren't done yet. Right. The mummies aren't done yet.
I wish I'd saved that now, but you know.
Yeah, it would have been nice if I had Sentinel. 'Cause
This
then you
is
wouldn't
the
have had to use it.
Gnome. So he can go 25, which means he has exactly enough to get there.
I still got one more spell slot, so next round, if I get hit again, I can still use another Hellish Rubric.
Oh, wait a minute. So, this one is now dead. This one ended its turn. What do they take if they end their turn within 10 feet of the wall?
That was the inside of the wall.
He said BRB.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It is the inside of the wall.
Well, yeah, but he is within 10 feet of the inside of the wall. The inside of the wall is here. 5, 10.
No, I thought it was a directional thing. Designed to be like, put a wall between you and your enemies. You're fine, they're not.
Oh, is that it? So outside the wall
They
there.
did say make the dangerous part point towards them.
Oh, okay. Then I guess.
I can look up the spell,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Okay, then never mind. I thought that this guy was just gonna get destroyed by standing there now because he was stayed too close to the wall. The gnome. Would you please like stop scrolling the wrong page? The gnome is going to attack Leah with a dagger.
Yeah, one side of the wall selected by you when you cast the spell deals damage to each creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of that side or inside the wall.
Okay, got you. So wait,
The
why
other
would
side
you?
of the wall deals no damage.
Okay.
Then it's you said it's a side you choose. In that case, he could have chosen the outside.
He could have.
Yes.
Did he specify?
I
Yeah,
believe he
He specified the inside.
so that if we ran up to like intercept them, we would not be hit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like
So-
you could run up to the wall and keep hitting them in the wall.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Gotcha. So, Leah, that is a 13 on your AC.
Let's see. That is a miss.
Okay. And then it's going to try and bite Raiken,
How dare they?
which is a 20 against your AC.
It misses.
Okay.
Exactly what
It sucks.
wanted to happen right
on the one hand, I like, yeah, it doesn't hit. On the other hand, I'm like, now I have some.
That could have benefited you if they did hit. Alright. So, month the human. Mummy human. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah. X. Boom.
Especially if the first one had hit me. Because if I would have gotten a 5 or a 6, he would have died.
Alright. Mummy Human is now going to attack Raiken. And again, he's on fire. He attacks you with his bare hands. For an 18, so that's going to miss. And then he is going to attempt to bite you. For a 23.
That will hit.
Okay. You will take 15 magical piercing damage,
Ugh.
as well as 10 fire damage,
Ugh.
because he is on fire.
Okay, so 15 and 10.
And then you must make a con saving throw.
God damn.
Uh-oh, that's not good. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay, you may do so.
That
That wasn't much better. 9. Oh wait, no, it's a saving throw, so 12.
12.
Well,
Take
in that
8
case-
necrotic damage
Okay.
as it sinks its zombie fangs into you, its mummy fangs into you.
That took a big chunk.
Yes.
Um,
But I believe something happens now.
yeah, so take some poison damage. And 5 points of poison damage.
5 points of poison damage. Okay. He seems to be resistant to that.
Great.
Which is doubly funny because he had exactly 5 HP left. So he's still standing.
Good to know. Don't bother aiming at that one.
Why?
Cause I'll fire and kill something else. I got fire. I'm a big guns for this one.
But the wall of fire is pointing inside, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, after
Sounds
the
Nothing is being
mumblies.
hit by it.
Jebel! It's finally
Jebel?
your turn.
It
I
is
wasn't talking about the wall
finally
of fire.
my turn.
You know that the wall of fire went up, and then the zombies all came rushing out of it on fire and began attacking Raiken and Leah.
5, 10. So the human is 25 feet from me, I think.
This human is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yes.
Go whack on my stick.
You whack him.
I'm going to. Let's see. Thorn whip. 2d6 magical something or other. Was it no? No.
2d6 magical
piercing.
something or other.
No, it's just 2d6 piercing. Evidently, it's not magical piercing.
Well, is all damage that comes from a spell magical of its type, or?
I know. Does it have to be?
Because I know you usually specify that, like, if a creature has a natural attack and that natural attack counts as magic, then it will say X magical piercing damage, slashing damage, whatever. But I'm not positive about. I would think that the damage from a spell is always magic damage.
So, it is the element that it says it is.
This does physical. It's piercing damage. It isn't an element.
I want to say usually, but if it doesn't say it deals magical damage, which is silly, then it
Don't
shouldn't.
think any spell will specify magical, piercing, bludgeoning, or slashing for damage.
Most spells don't deal piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. They mostly deal elements or force. If it says piercing, bludgeoning, or slashing, it has to say magical, otherwise it's not magical. It's just
It's 6
stupid that they
piercing
would.
damage anyway.
It's just stupid that they would leave something like that off of a spell. And it's because they don't,
Think things through. They're like, oh hey, this sounds cool.
they need to establish a way that they talk about things and then stick to it, like they did in 4th edition. Thorn Whip. Let's see if this book is any better about it. Thorn Whip. Transmutation. You create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes out at your command toward a creature in range. Make a melee spell attack against a target. If the attack hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage. And if the creature is larger or smaller, you pull the creature
So I will
closer to
say,
you.
looking at a creature's block that's resistant to some. It says damage resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks for this particular thing. And I would think that a spell attack is a magic attack.
It's not. You are magically creating a non-magical object with this spell. It's creating a vine-like whip, which is non-magical in nature. The only thing magical about it is the fact that it reacts to your commands and can pull things in. It deals physical damage. It's non-magical. I have to enforce that things have to be worded properly. I see no reason in the wording of this spell that it should deal magical damage. It's a transmutation. It's creating a physical object. It's the same as you know, creating an object, with whatever. I forget what it is. With conjuration and throwing it. It's still just a regular object. Even though you created it with magic, it's not going to deal magic damage just because it was created by magic. It's still going to deal regular bludgeoning damage when it hits them in the face. So, same thing here. This is non-magical piercing. I mean, it would have been as easy as to say this is magical for purposes of overcoming damage resistance, which it doesn't even say that. So, I have little reason to believe that it should be. Okay, so you're attacking that one with Thorn Whip.
Yep.
Roll the damage based on the level you cast it at. You rolled the hit, right? Did we get with that? Did I hear that?
Hold on, let me see.
So you make a melee spell attack against the target. So you roll as though you're casting any one of your to-hit spells.
Okay. Let's see what's my... Come back here. No, stop doing that. Plus 8. 16.
16 against the human. I think that'll hit. Human, that will hit.
And that's 6 piercing damage.
6 piercing damage. You kill it.
Hooray!
Okay, change the color here. Blah. 2 mummies down, both burning into the floor. And that brings us to...
Can I move?
Yes, you may move. You may move up to your move speed.
X? Is it? No, wait, no. Y14, I believe, is the one diagonally to the left behind after Raiken.
Y14 is there.
Yes, that's where I want to go.
Okay. 10, 15. Yep, not a problem. Okay. You have moved there. I need to look at something. Okay. After Jebel, Jeblabla, Jebel is Yukikaze.
Frickin' finally.
Well, there's so many people, man.
Yeah, but they can't kill anything worth a hill of beans.
I mean, they killed 2 things.
So I'm gonna draw Kibimaru and my magical short sword, Kibimaru in my main hand.
Okay.
And I will proceed forward to MDW, which I think is the Mummy Dragonborn.
A dwarf.
Dwarf. Yeah, so I'll move. What I need, I can move all the way up to him and full attack, right? Or normal attack, right?
You can move and then make your normal full attack, yes.
Alright, well, I will move up to either next to Leah or wherever I can get to attack.
Yeah, that's fine. Right there is a good spot.
Alright.
That is where you are.
on. I gotta shrink your screen. Attacks. It's 3 attacks fully. 2 of them main, 1 of them offhand. 19 to hit.
Against the dwarf or the gnome?
The dwarf.
The dwarf. Dwarf. You hit.
D8 this way. 7 slashing.
7 slashing damage, you say. Okay. Non-magical?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then, I can't math. 27 for the next one.
27 to hit. That'll hit.
And, great. 5 slashing.
Okay. Still standing.
This one is a 19 to hit.
Alright, that will hit.
And that is 3, 5, 8 magical piercing.
8 magical piercing. Okay, he's still standing.
And that concludes my turn.
Okay. That brings us back to Vendar.
Alright. I'll hide.
You hide, roll it.
That's 22.
Okay. And then what?
I will attack the dwarf.
The dwarf. Alright. You may attack with advantage.
Okay, and I will use sharpshooter.
Okay.
It's an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
Just do it.
38 points of magical piercing damage.
I mean, the thing just disintegrates from the magic of your arrow. You just see this hole blasted through it, disappearing, evaporating into magical dust particles, and the thing collapses to the floor. The chainmail scattering broken rings all across the floor around it.
So the only one left is a gnome in front of me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
That the end of your turn there, Vendar?
Yeah.
Okay. After Vihendar is Larabendis.
So, I think the only undead I thought were not actually resistant to cold. So, I cast Ray of Frost.
Okay. Do they roll or do you roll?
I roll.
Okay, roll it.
That is 19.
19 will hit.
Okay. That is 6 cold, unless it's immune or resistant.
It does appear to be resistant.
Yeah.
You know better next time.
Yeah, no, I had no reason to know, and I'm not taking the action to roll a check on them.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm not being critical. I am being joking. I am joking with you. Any event. Cyrus!
Plus the necromancy lessons.
Yeah, should have done.
I think we did establish that.
I believe we did.
Gonna move 20 feet north and blast it with a firebolt.
20 feet north and blast it with firebolt. 5, 10, 15, 20. Bam. Delete you. Alright, shoot your firebolt.
I hope they have low AC.
Maybe. They don't appear to be wearing armor.
Oh, that sounds like monsters that are armored.
The others were armored. The gnome was basically not.
18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Alright, rolling damage. I almost maximized my damage. 21 points of fire damage.
It dies. Assuming you didn't already double it for me.
Nope, didn't already double it.
Alright.
I rolled 18 and added my charisma because of my class feature.
Alright, that's good. A note going forward to everybody else, don't. Even if you know it's weak or resistant or something, don't do the math for me, because I'm doing the math. Or if you do decide to do the math for me, tell me that you did. Alright, so this thing is super dead. Like, super dead. Not nearly as dead as the one that Vendar shot, but yeah, this one just burns up. There's just a hiss. You're not sure if the creature hissed as it died, or if it was just the hiss of expanding air inside the burning corpse. And it crumbles to the ground, the last shreds of its raiment burning away into nothing, and the acrid smell in the air becoming that much worse as the bodies are burned.
I'll stop concentrating on the wall of fire.
Alrighty. This is dead.
I stopped my concentration when the target died.
Yes, that is understood. Boof. This is burned up. And actually, this is also burned up.
I hope we didn't need those bodies for anything.
Yeah. Oh well. It was that or a fireball. Both would have resulted in extra crispy corpses. Although the fireball might have just killed everything outright.
So,
the corpses, combat is over.
I'm going to instantly take a look at Raiken to see if he got sand in his eyes.
He's still, like, spitting out sand.
Then I'm going to use prestidigitation to help wash it off.
Oh, thank you, Leah. Oh. I could barely see.
How are you feeling?
Very sandy, but that'll go away now that it's gone.
Okay, good.
Alright, but
Gotta be careful with these incorporeals, you know, we never know when you can get cursed or worse.
They weren't incorporeal. Unless you saw something that I didn't.
I'm sorry.
I'm now looking around.
What do you mean we? I was over here.
Still working out the terms. What do you call them?
Dead?
Vendar offered an
This
option.
sounds boring.
Undead sounds
So-
boring. Stupid
Do we
accurate
wanna
terms.
see if they had anything of use, or should we pick a door?
Well, my question for the group is: it is 11:15, and we have just finished combat. Do we want to make decisions and progress, or do we want to try and call it there?
I think
I mean,
it's a good stop point.
Yeah, there's no way we can do the entire dungeon in one run anyway. Looking at we're in room 30.
Yeah, remember, we need to make it
Something
to at
past
least
22.
room 39.
Spoiler alert.
Well, if you want the numbers to go up faster, take the door on the right.
Oh, I need to get more arrows from Leah from the back.
I say we all split up.
Yeah. See
That's a
what
terrible
Tristan
idea.
is doing. There's a lot of room.
2 per door, with one door getting.
Well,
Because
you know,
there's a chance
it
we
did
won't
come
see all
from
the rooms.
Raiken's mouth.
So Vendor is gonna take 11 arrows from the back of the
But if we don't check in every room, we might not find the armor.
Spender's just like, hold still, Leah. Just like pulls arrows out of the bag of holding.
Pretty much.
Yoink.
Some rooms might just be like cabinets and shit, like cupboards.
Yeah, those arrows that you shot into them, those burned up.
Oh yeah,
Madness.
That's why he didn't even try to look.
Yeah, no, he knew. I was just confirming it for him. Somebody set
You're
everything on
welcome.
fire. Somebody set everything on fire. Well, the nice thing is, so this is how I set it up.
So what can I say except you're welcome?
For the arrows I burn to a crisp. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. You can rely on me to get us out of this.
Next week, gonna kick down a door. Gonna be great.
Don't kick it down.
Fine, I'll knock.
Kick down the door, search for treasure.
What are we playing Munchkin?
Apparently. Yeah, I'm excited. So you've got 3 doors to look at. These ones are fancy doors, but there's nothing going on with the door frame. This one's a fancy door with a fancy door frame with a eye inscribed above it.
I don't want to be disemboweled.
An eye
Yeah, an eye.
in a triangle?
No,
No.
You said that it looked like they were going to open the door.
it did.
I had some way to do it that is now burned up.
They were gonna knock like a normal person.
I guess we're not going to be going to door 5.
But I like door 5. Let's go to door 5.
I mean, I don't know
You can
how
try to figure it out.
I don't know how door 5 is better than any other door, other than that it has scroll work around the outside of it, which makes it look pretty. The other
Exactly.
ones, the other ones just have pretty doors.
But also, that's where the buys are being taken.
It is. So,
Don't you go.
The one with all, like,
Holy Grail, you know, you don't want to pick the one that's all bejeweled out and fancy.
We're not looking for the Holy Grail, we're looking for the Holy Armor. It's totally different.
the fancy door is just going to be a storage.
fancy door is just a storage closet. Someone's been playing too many video games.
Guilty.
Guilty.
So,
I look around at the doors and think, which one is most likely to lead in the place that we want to go? And I go in the
Door
opposite-
39.
And you go in the opposite direction. Yeah,
that's how video games work.
that is how you video games.
That is true. That
Dead
is-
Space taught me that.
because I have to check out every room and I don't want to run
Yeah,
into a
you don't
cutscene.
want to miss anything.
Dead Space taught me that. You check the breadcrumbs and then head in the opposite direction.
I'll do that in every bloody video game. Sometimes I mistake, like in Assassin's Creed, several times I think the path is the one I'm supposed to take, is actually the one that I'm not.
Yeah, I love when you're like, okay, I think this is the way I'm not supposed to go, and you start heading down that way, and you're like, been heading a little too long in this direction for it to be the
Yeah,
wrong way.
exactly.
God damn it.
Yeah. Then you gotta go all the way back.
Yep.
Do that, and then you can't go back, and you're like, "Fuck, I missed it."
Yeah.
I thought that
Yeah.
worked out pretty well.
So, fair question. XP.
Fair question.
And
Did
then
I-
there's
Did I
then
write
there's
down
the
how much
backtrack.
these were worth? I
Unfair
didn't write
answer.
down what they were worth. I guess that means they're not worth anything.
No.
Another annoying video game situation about taking doors, not taking paths. Have you ever run into a door? You try so hard to figure out how to open it and give up, and then it turns out that it's a quest later in game where you have to backtrack to open that door.
Yeah, every time.
That's why I cast
Yeah, it's
it.
either that, or I'm trying so hard, and I eventually turn around and find the lever was behind me.
Well, I find that if I just sit down and think about a problem, a solution presents itself.
There you go.
I
Thank
had
you,
that
Dr.
on
Jones.
Metroid. I had that on Metroid Prime. I had to get to the pirate ship, and I was like, "Where the hell do I go? I don't understand." And go to find out a month later after I put the game down for that long. I look
Yeah.
with my scanner from a distance, and there's a plate on the ground to the left that I could break with more bomb.
Yeah, I had this problem in Assassin's Creed. I went down a volcano and I found a door. It's like, there has to be a way down into that door, because I used the eagle to see that there is in fact a chest behind that door, so I know it's not just for decoration. It is a door.
The
You
next
can't
door you're
open doors
talking
in that
about.
game. Yeah,
Wait, is that you said Assassin's Creed?
yeah, Assassin's Creed
In
Odyssey.
Odyssey, yeah.
And you said a volcano?
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
I spent so long trying to figure that out until I eventually Googled. and it
Wanna
turns out
get
that there was a quest
everything.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a quest later, and when I then got that quest way later, this was like way later. We're talking maybe 50 hours later.
Yeah, I did kind of
I-
eventually stop caring. It's like, I got the best shit in the game.
Yeah, I went in. It's like, yeah, this item would have been awesome earlier, but right now it's kind of not.
Mm-hmm.
Also, all the mobs I had spent hours killing respawned, and then they were not hard to take out because I was obviously supposed to go into that volcano later.
Yeah.
I went in way too early.
Okay,
Those
everybody
mobs were
takes
actually difficult to
700
take out.
experience points.
Oh, whoa,
Yay.
I played.
Alright.
I spent so long time.
Good game,
going through
everybody, and
Assassin's Creed
thank you for
Odyssey.
joining us.
Yeah.
I've
Oh yeah, right.
reached
it's still live.
60,000.
I am so close to
See
level
you next week.
10.
Same bat channel, same bat time. Same bat time, same set, same Alex.